Hi, my name's Kyra.
And I'm Sophie.
We're 14 years old, and together we run a hedgehog rescue in Stratford-upon-Avon. So far, we've rescued over 600 hedgehogs, big and small.
We both have our own hospitals in our back gardens. It's important that we keep the hedgehog hospital very clean and warm, so the hedgehogs have a comfortable environment to recover.
Then, when they are big and strong enough, sometimes we move them to our outdoor enclosures. Putting them outside is important. It allows them to adjust to the wild again. This gives them a better chance of survival when they're ready to be released. We use lots of different kinds of equipment to monitor their progress, such as these night cameras with heat sensors, which allow us to keep an eye on the hedgehogs at night without disturbing or startling them.
Let's introduce you to some of the hedgehogs currently in our care. This is Bridget. Bridget is really poorly, so we'll have to keep a very close eye on her for the first few weeks.
She's not breathing very well, so we're giving her a lot of help with her breathing by putting her in a nebulizer tank and keeping her on antibiotics.
We always make sure to use thick safety gloves when handling the hedgehogs, as their spines are very sharp. Today we've had a new hog come into our care, so we're going to show you what we do.
Weighing hedgehogs frequently is the best way of tracking their progress and to make sure we're feeding them enough.
He does have some fleas, so we're just going to spray him with some flea spray to get them off. I'm just going to get that off him so that it does not hatch into maggots. Now we're going to get a pee sample from him and we can check that to see which medication he needs. He is a little bit dehydrated, so we're just going to give him some fluids now that have already been prepared just to perk him up. We've had lots of training to get us confident enough to inject medication like this, and we always make sure we have an adult with us as we are under the age of 18. So now we're just going to check his poo sample to see if we can see any parasites that we know need treating. So as you can see right here are actually some roundworm eggs, so we know that we need to treat him for that as soon as possible.
We often get members of the public coming to us with sick or injured hedgehogs who need our help. This brave little girl rescued Seesaw and brought him to us to look after. A lot of our hedgehogs are named after where they were found, or who's rescued them. So of course, Seesaw was found at a play park. Poor Seesaw is covered in parasites. Ticks and fleas are very common to find on poorly hedgehogs, but as you can see, are easily treated.
Seesaw will be in our care until he is well enough to be released.
This is Poppy. Now Poppy is actually a very, very naughty hedgehog.
Poppy is full of energy and has been caught several times trying to escape. She's not well enough just yet, but hopefully we can get her outside soon.
If we have any questions about our hedgehog's care, we speak to a vet. We're quite concerned about one particular hedgehog, Puff, who came to us with balloon syndrome. We had to suck 30 syringes of air out of the cavity under his skin, and he's still not back to normal. So we've asked Rory from Pets Factor if he can reassure us that we're doing the right thing. It's always best to consult a professional if you're unsure about something.
So we actually have this hedgehog called Puff, and he came in with balloon syndrome.
Oh wow, that is a serious thing. I mean, we call it subcutaneous emphysema in the veterinary world. It's not as cool a name, but it's basically where they get damage to their respiratory tract, so their trachea or their windpipe or their lungs, and then they get leakage of air underneath their skin, and it's really serious. So you guys dealt with that really easily, and I'm sure, how did you treat it? Did you sort of just syringe the air out?
We got a 10ml syringe and we just had to carry on syringing the air out until it felt like it was back to the normal size. When it does have balloon syndrome, it feels like you're holding a water balloon, which is really weird, so you can definitely tell once all the air's out.
Amazing. Well, you guys are the pros at this. I've never had to treat balloon syndrome in a hedgehog. I've had it in a cat or two, but yeah, that's really, really cool.
We have a hedgehog outside actually called Rory, which is so exciting.
I wanted one named after me. That's made my day.
So here we have Tiny Tim, and he is actually a really good weight now and ready to be released. Tiny Tim has been in our care for the last 6 weeks.
Hi.
Hi. We're delighted with the progress he's made. He is now well enough to be returned to the wild where he belongs.
Yeah, so I'm guessing he looks a lot different from when you brought him to us.
What's his face? Smile, Tim.
If it is safe to do so, we like to return the hedgehogs back to where they were found so they know where they are.
Also, some great news for little Evie, who's being fostered today. Fostering hedgehogs is when we place our hedgehogs with volunteer families to help them get back to full health. Once they reach an ideal weight, they return back to us for one final parasite check, then release into the wild again. I have a feeling Evie is definitely in the right hands. Sophie and I are proud of the work we do, probably more now than ever before, with hedgehogs in Britain being close to extinction.
And we don't plan on stopping our rescues anytime soon.